Hi, welcome. This is Reverend Pam Geagan from the Center for Spiritual Living in Camarillo, California.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Pleasant Valley. Everybody's here this morning, and our spiritual leader, of course, is Reverend Pamella Geagan, and you see her there. And Reverend Betty Ann Brennan is our assistant minister. We're so blessed to have you all. And look at who's here today. Everybody wave and say hello. Pamela, Ryan, Sevina, oh, and Plamen, Reverend Pam, there's Buzz. Everybody's here. So welcome to everybody. We are the Center for Spiritual Living, Pleasant Valley, and our vision is awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence. And the way we do that is, of course, teaching and demonstrating spiritual principles for living an abundant and fulfilling life in a welcoming, compassionate community. And we have our candles of faith. Our candles of faith, we believe that there is one source and many paths leading to that source. We honor all paths: Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, Judaism, Sufism, and all faiths. There is that one fine thread that connects all religions in the world, and that, of course, is the thread of love. We come from love, we are love, we honor the oneness and the love in us all. And please, whatever moves you into this wonderful space of love, accept that right now. And right now, it's my extreme pleasure to introduce Reverend Betty Ann Brennan with our quote for the day.
I celebrate eternal life. Joy is my true nature. Love is my life. Freedom and change are in the air. And now if you'll extend this idea into your mind and join me in an opening treatment, just become as comfortable as you can and empty your mind, awaiting something new. And in this position, then, I recognize the universal power, the all in all, knowing that I am one with it. I am one to experience it. I am one to be free because I am in charge of my life, and that's my freedom. Nobody tells me what to think except me. I give thanks and recognize this. I am here to remember who I am, and that base that I am gives me all the freedom and power in the world. Right here and right now, I accept within my being all that I can be and give honesty and love to my fellow men. I give great thanks that everything is wonderful this morning, and we each receive inspiration and a challenge. And so I release these words to create for us the greatest experience ever in this service. And I invite you to join me in capping that off by saying, and so it is.
And so it is.
And so it is, Betty Ann. Thank you so much. And I want to now introduce our wonderful uplifting stories in an untethered world, who this week is with Pat and Tom Ingman, and it is entitled the Ingman Chicken Farm. I wanted to call it the Ingman Hen House, but we changed it to the Ingman Chicken Farm. Enjoy.
So, maybe? Why did I want chickens?
I think it started with Colonel Sanders.
I do like eggs, though. I really like eggs, and I like animals, and I like the idea of knowing, of having some control over my food source. When I was a little girl, my parents, we didn't have a lot of toys or anything, but the thing I remember really clearly was my mother would take us outside and run the hose and make a big muddy puddle and let us make mud pies. And I think it's always stuck with me because I love dirt. I really do. I like digging in it. I like growing things in it. And I'm not afraid of mud. Thanks, Mom.
Well, I have to tell you, with what we're going through right now with COVID, this is a godsend to have this place and be able to sit out and enjoy it, enjoy the chickens and so forth. And it's particularly, I think, enjoyable for Pat because she has such a green thumb and she's grown so much stuff. Many flowers and roses, everything. I'm always impressed.
It's been constantly changing up until about 10 years ago. We finally quit reinventing it. Now we just try and keep it alive. Right?
Yeah.
And that's about the time I got the chickens.
All the first group of chickens got old and died off except for this one, Chiquita. And she was an amazing chicken. She outlived the others by several years,
Yeah.
maybe 3 years. And she used to follow me around this backyard when I was like working on these rocks and stuff. And she would get on my back. It's just amazing.
Chicken in every pot. There's a... Yeah, don't be chicken. A bunch of old hens. Oh, pecking order. That's one of the words.
Like, what a dumb cluck.
What a dumb cluck. We call those chickens stew pot.
It is now my honor to introduce What's the Buzz, our wonderful Buzz Noe with our announcements.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here. And we're one day past Independence Day, trusting you all are doing okay. Those noisy fireworks have now reached their peak, and you're revealing the divine perfection you seek. Until we can gather and meet cheek to cheek, here's the online announcements for this week. Daily meditations are at 9 a.m. on Facebook Live with Reverend Pam Geagan to help us all thrive. Ho'oponopono is the subject ongoing. Tune in to keep your perfection flowing, because apology, forgiveness, gratitude, and love will reconnect you with spirit from heaven above. Once again, from 7 to 9 tomorrow evening, Writers Group will gather at the Center Live with the corona precautions so we all will thrive. And please stay tuned while this pandemic continues to keep us apart. New online events are planned to soon start. Physical separation will provide our defense as we connect with each other in a spiritual sense. Events that connect our mind with our heart, we'll post it here when they're ready to start. And a reminder, our center is here for you. Let us know what we can do. If you need a prayer while home alone, send an email or leave us a message on the phone. A reminder to donate to our center so we can be here when it's safe to re-enter. You can also now donate using Venmo. We'll display the link soon, so you will then know how to do so. And thank you for your generosity. There are two other places that need donations. You can donate to them from any locations, Rescue Mission and Ventura County Food Share. Please show them that you indeed do care. And Independence Day just went by, so please enjoy the remainder of July. That's it for the announcements. Thank you for listening. Here's Reverend Pam Geagan to keep us all glistening.
Thank you. Thank you, Buzz, so much. You're such fun and so witty and brilliant. So now it is my honor in this 4th of July weekend to introduce God Bless America from a very special person. So enjoy.
On behalf of each person in attendance tonight to welcome back veterans and Wounded Warrior Project. And now for the introduction of God Bless America, let's join public address announcer John Hewlett.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now take a moment to sing God Bless America. We are led tonight by retired Navy Petty Officer First Class Generald Wilson.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the lights from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Wow. It's great.
Welcome, Pamela Bailey, our lead practitioner and also our practitioner of the day for our opening treatment, our centering treatment.
So thank you very much, Pam. Today's theme is Let Freedom Ring, and it's a great phrase from a wonderful patriotic song. And indeed, our first settlers came here to have freedom to practice the religion of their choice. And our founding fathers, when declaring the Constitution, had life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in mind. That was almost 250 years ago. And the United States of America still has these ideals. One of the highlights of 2019 for me was attending the naturalization ceremony of my friend Phyllis. Phyllis finally became a citizen of the US after 40 years. It was a sweltering day in July at the LA Convention Center, and her group had 3,659 people, just one of 3 that day. I was just moved to tears by the ceremony itself, and there was so much celebration, so much respect, appreciation, and the people there were just so amazing, and they were from over 120 countries coming here for citizenship. And it truly made me appreciate how much I have been given as a native-born citizen and how much I've taken for granted. On Friday at home, I listened to patriotic music, which I love, and which allows me to be aware of what a blessing it is to be here. And how even with all the challenges we're now facing, this is still the best place on this planet to live. We Americans have imagination, we have grit, we have courage, we have resilience, and beneath it all, a deep love for our country. As a practitioner, I get to select quotes. And so in the email, there was a quote from Thucydides, an ancient Greek philosopher. That quote was, "The secret to happiness is freedom, and the secret to freedom is courage." Well, the 20th century philosopher Werner Erhard put it a little differently. He said, "The access to happiness is acceptance, and the access to freedom is responsibility." Slightly different and yet complementary. So these brilliant men both have valid points of view, and I would like to take that synthesis of freedom, courage, responsibility, and happiness into treatment. So let us just center ourselves, relax, close our eyes if we wish, and just be present to this weekend, this day, this celebration on this beautiful summer day, knowing that God is all that there is. There is nothing that is not God, that is not enlivened by spirit itself. Even the rocks are part of God, although they are a bit dense. And so when I speak today, let's just know that what I say in that first person is true for each and every person present here. And so knowing that there is only God, God expressing, God evolving, God showing up in new and ways for our highest good, for our growth, and knowing that this too, this day, these beautiful people who are here as part of this service, and each and every person watching, knowing that each of us is blessed to be exactly where we are, and we are here to do that thing that only we could do. So I am just today, I am grateful. I am knowing that I can be a point of love. I can be a point of light. I can stand up for what's good, for what's right, what's just. I'm free to speak my piece. I'm free to have a point of view that doesn't agree with yours. And I'm free to love you no matter what. And that is the beauty of living in this country and living a free life. So as I focus on all of the benefits, all of the pleasures, all of the privileges that I have living here in this time, and living in such an interesting and diverse time with so many different people, and knowing that this whole mix is all evolving for the highest good of all, even for our planet. So knowing that and looking to see, well, this moment, what can I think? What can I say? What can I do? Who can I be going forward in this beautiful day? And so I am grateful that I have this freedom. I am grateful for each and every person here. And I am grateful again that I have the freedom and it rings where I am. And please join me in releasing this treatment and saying, and so it is. And I have the great pleasure to introduce Ryan Kimmery, who is our musician of the day.
Hi, everyone. Okay, here we go. If my words did glow with the gold of sunshine, and my tunes were played on the harp unstrung, would you hear my voice come through the music? Would you hold it near as it were your own? It's a hand-me-down. The thoughts are unbroken. Perhaps they're better left unsung. Well, I don't know. don't really care now. Let there be songs that fill the air, ripple in still water, when there is no pebble thrown, no wind to blow. Reach out your hand. If your cup be empty, if your cup is full, may it be full again. Let it be known there is a fountain that was not made by the hands of men. There's a simple road, no simple highway, between the dawn and the dark of night. And if you go, no one may follow. That path is for your steps alone. Ripple in still water, when there is no pebble thrown, no wind to blow. Those who choose to lead must follow. But if you fall, you fall on your own. And if you go, then who's to guide you? If I knew the way, I would take you home. Thank you, everyone.
Right. Thank you so much. Is that about counting on your own spiritual self inside?
Yeah, it could be.
Huh?
Yeah, I didn't write it, but I can see that.
Yeah. By the way, thank you. You are one of the most creative, free people. It's perfect you're with us today.
I'm
Creative,
so happy to be here.
musician, and blessings. Thank you so much. We'll see you later in the program.
Sounds
honey.
good. Thank you.
Now it is truly my honor to introduce Sevina and Sevina Altanova and Plamen Kurolinski. I'm sorry, I always say it and I say it perfectly. I didn't do it this. And not only are they amazing people, they're some of the most brilliant people I know. And one of the reasons I asked them to come on is because they are immigrants from Bulgaria. And not only are they immigrants, they're this brilliant couple. And I want to also dig a little deeper here while we're here, and we'll ask some of the first questions. But what makes you so unique and brilliant? Is it nurture or nature? What do you think? Is it both combined? Because you're brilliant writers, brilliant healers. What do you think?
I think our love to each other is what's unique about us. As Gandhi said, my philosophy and my message is my life. I would say our love to America and appreciation and uniqueness in the way is coming from our life. We kind of hope to stay this unbreakable unit during the years, to love each other, to create a new life on a new continent, to have those beautiful children who are fully integrated into American life, into American fabric. And I think this is the most unique in us, having this deep love between each other.
I'm in tears already. So why did you immigrate and when did you immigrate?
We immigrated decades ago. It was end of 90s, 1998, and it's just compilation of so many motifs and so many urges to come and to start a new life. For Plamen, it was more existential process. For me, it was more intuitive, subconscious kind of process. Plamen very rapidly built a career. So he became on the top of his profession for very quick, very short time. And at one point he had this dilemma, am I going to, so now what is ahead of me? Am I going to keep the status quo till the rest of my life? So he was open to start over and to experience more and new things. For me, I was the grand initiator to come to the new lands and build a new life.
Her idea.
Yeah, it was my idea, but for me it was more intuitive process. As you know, we women, we run through our third eye chakra, so this chakra is very active in all women. So for me it was this subconscious, very intuitive process. Like I knew that a year from now, when we were there, a year from now, like I knew that I had to be in America to face a very, very challenging health challenge. And if we were to stay in Bulgaria, we would probably never had children. So just the fact that we moved here and I was able to be admitted in the best hospital this particular year in 1998, I would probably never survive. We would probably never had children. So it was kind of intuitive process for me that we have to go somewhere else. We have to build a new life.
Without knowing this.
Without knowing, I had no idea that in a
this always gonna happen.
That
everything.
this in a year gonna happen. It was very a challenging period of our life. I was pregnant with Ivan, and they said, yeah, you might have cancer. We may lose you and the baby, so we have to operate. And if we were not in Chicago, and if we were not living next by Loyola Hospital, which was the best university hospital for that year. And when the ambulance took me, they didn't ask me where to go. They just go to the best hospital.
So are you gonna ask us how you love America?
We love America.
We love America.
Yeah,
we are America, our children's America. I will start crying right now.
So yeah, that's how we came. Many different things, very complex, but we are here and we have Ivan and Christopher, and that's the most important.
Oh, I did not know that story. I knew you came, and we were going, oh wow, we've known each other a long time now, and I didn't realize that was the underlying aspiration, inspiration, desire, is to not only continue this relationship that was so unique between the two of you, but to create even something greater from within. I mean, that's what I just heard. Oh, I'm so glad you came, and I know you, and you're here, and your boys are here too. Oh, I didn't know that. Tell us how you met. You can just do it briefly.
Sure. Very, very briefly. Plamen was director in the Youth National Theater, and he was the youngest professor in the Theater and Film Arts University in Sofia, where I happened to be a student. We met, we fell in love, and the rest is history.
And not only that, he is brilliant, and I do know this beyond what I heard from you, the two of you. Sevina, you were famous in Bulgaria as an actress. No, I mean, people
well known.
Well, okay, well, it doesn't matter, and so is Plamen. And I just want to say one other thing before moving on. Plamen is one of the most brilliant playwrights I have ever read in my life, and he's been up for several awards, and I'm just knowing that that is going to be revealed in even greater ways. If you did everything you did to make it here and to stay here, then this is a done deal. And I'm just saying that beyond what you do to make money, the brilliance of who you are, you bring to everything and everyone you're in touch with. And I just wanted to get that in. So talk about your children being born in America and what influence not only did your history and your parents have and your lineage, but what is it like having children that are born in America and yet they have this rich, rich past that is within them and surrounded by them, so they live almost like in two worlds, I see. Talk about this, would you please?
I think they got the best of both worlds. What genetically we brought in them is this urge to know. For Eastern Europeans, education is incredibly important. So I think this is just genetically in us, we kind of transferred into our children, and believe it or not, they have good academic scores and they're doing very well in school. So I would say this love to education is part of our Bulgarian heritage. And most importantly though, because is that, how to say, I'm searching for the right word, the critical thinking that we ask them to do in everything, because America is a consumer society, and it's much better to be informed consumer than not informed consumer. And the way that's what we try to urge them to go and search more and have this critical thinking, because it's so important to have in life, to think outside of the box. Sometimes in the school system, rules are so important and they're important to follow, but sometimes they do not lead you to the right answer. So we want to urge them to think more, to always doubt the authorities and think for yourself, and no. So I would say this is the Bulgarian influence, and they are Americans. They speak Bulgarian with they speak English with Bulgarian accent. So they are Americans. They're fully integrated here, and they have this kindness. America have I think this is the greatest point that we embrace when we came here. American people are extremely kind. They are so open. They are so ready to love and accept you. We experienced Europe, and we know that in Europe is difficult to be immigrant. In America, it's very easy to be immigrant because people are ready to love you, to support you. There is always openness and love and kindness. And I think our kids totally embrace that, and they're very kind and loving and genuinely good people. And I think society is built this way. So that's another thing we should be very thankful to America. Kindness.
Very short story, now come in my mind. Really quick. Half year before we came here, we were in Paris for a theater festival. We were part of festival, but we have whole day to go through the town, of course, and we have carried the maps, the town, the museums, and everything. It was wonderful. Everybody was so lovely to us, even our strange language. But we were in Paris for 5-6 days, and we don't need maps anymore. So we put the maps in the pockets, and we start going in the town, and suddenly something changed. We start feeling that they don't love us so much anymore. And we understand that they start thinking that we are immigrants, not tourists. That's how we take back our maps, even we don't need the maps, and going to Paris with the maps, so people to be kind to us.
In Paris,
we never experienced this in America.
In Paris, it's better to be a tourist than an immigrant because the attitude changed dramatically. So we learned that lesson. So that's why we never ever experienced that in
with Google Maps,
America. And we're very, very thankful.
I know your children, not as intimately certainly as you do, but one of the things that you said, and everything you're saying, it's bringing me to tears, Sevina, is that you are nurturing that, not only that creative critical thinking in them, but also to be good people. And that is what it takes to build this society from that place of love. And so they are amazing, amazing boys who are American teenagers now, and yet they've retained the respect, the challenging of the thinking, and yet just show up in their hearts and their kindness and their politeness anytime I am with them. They are just, I just want to say, they are some of the most amazing kids I've ever met in my life. And so and that comes from the nurture. I know their nature, it comes from brilliance and that creativity, but the nurture also is now showing up so strongly for you and for all of us who have the honor to be in their presence. So what do you see that in their teenage years, what is different about them than when you were growing up? Is there any difference at all in they're wanting to be free, I guess. You know how all teenagers want to be free.
They want to be independent. Before, with the small children, they're always holding your head and they want your hug and protection. Now they're so happy when we leave the house. They want to be free in a way. They want to be independent. They want to experience their own thing. So that's the only way. I mean, compared to our childhood, completely different, because now they live in this virtual reality. They can experience life without even moving their bottoms
and
from the chair.
Big difference. We know when we were young, who is the bad guy? The communists are the bad guys. We know who
to fight.
To fight. For them, it's a little bit more complex, which is
unfortunate, because right now, in the middle of politics, in the middle of pandemic, in the middle of riots and protests, it is so difficult for them to form opinion and stay where they need to stay.
It is. I admire anyone who has small children and anybody past like 7, because you have to constantly try and tell them. Teenagers want to hug, they want to hang out, and everybody's hanging out at home. And I love that you said they love when they leave the house, so they
a little bit of freedom. Yeah.
Which is very much like all of the in that growing period. But this will be, they call this now the COVID generation. And so everything that they are, this is another added layer to that, and how they react to the world too. But I just love your children. They should be doing seminars on how to be kids.
They better not hear that.
So what would you tell anybody who has the aspiration and inspiration and the dream to live a life filled with all of that you so desired when you came here? What can you tell them? How can you help them draw upon what I call their spiritual source, or whatever you want to call it? Tell me what you want to, whatever you say. What is it that you drew from, and what can they draw from to fulfill their dreams, no matter how old or young or locked in they are right now with COVID?
To tap in their authenticity. When you're not authentic, you cannot achieve anything in life. If you try to imitate somebody else, you have your own dharma, you have your own reason to be here. So the moment you find your passion and your authenticity, show it to the world, and show it passionately, show it selflessly. That's what karma yoga is. If you have talent, give it to the world. Give it. And I would say, just stay true to yourself. If they want to succeed in life, even we are a perfect example for that. Different continent, different language, different routine, everything was different. And still, we had this inner desire to come here and build a new life. And we did it. And we stay true to ourselves. And I think this is very important. what is real against what is true. What is real is what's happening to us, pandemic, etc., etc., etc. This is real. And let me give you a personal example, because usually personal examples work well with people. So we are in a crisis. I lost my job and I felt so helpless. But this is only a temporary experience. And my pain is real right now, but it's going to go away because the experience changes every single day. Life is changing every single day. So this is real. But this hopelessness cannot define me. At the end of the day, I'm still this deserving, good, joyful person who deserves to be happy. So this is real, but what is true is I am truthful. And the pain from this particular experience, which is temporary, is real. But what is true, it never changes. So I would recommend those two people always look what is real and what is true. True never change. I'm here, I'm gonna be here. Experience always change. Our reality has transient nature.
I call that the soul that is, it is never diluted, it never dies, and it comes in with us in its experience of going back to that oneness, that freedom and that's our only job here, as Krishna says, is to find out who we are and express who we are. Speaking of spiritual things, what was your spiritual backgrounds in Bulgaria? And what was it was communist socialist, right? It is communist socialist, yes.
It was a communist country, but kind of a soft version. So culturally, Bulgaria is an Eastern Orthodox country, like the Greeks, like the Russians. But our nation never have been very religious. Bulgaria was established in 1681. So around 800s, one of our kings, Boris, decided to forcefully integrate Christianity into Bulgaria. And Bulgarian nation embrace paganism. We are like Native Americans. We are so connected with nature. And for us, Christianity was so new and enforced. Like this particular king, he killed 3,000 noble families for one night because they were against the new religion. So this religion was enforced to the people, and
for political reasons.
For political reasons. According to him, Bulgaria will grow if we have
because Byzantium
Christian
was there.
country. The Byzantine was next to us, so we have to play the same rules. And if we were Christian country, you know. Anyway, so Bulgarians are Eastern Orthodox, but as I said, we never have been too religious. And then the communists come, and of course religion was put in the very, very back burner. Only the very old people were practicing it. The new generations were all about socialism and no God and et cetera, et cetera. So this kind of helped us to be not very religious as well. But when the time came and the communism crashed, people start converting back to Eastern Orthodoxy, just as an answer, as a rejection of communism, just to be different, you know. But culturally, we are Eastern Orthodox, and that's what we were practicing in a way when we came here, until one of my friends, Spencer, introduced me to his mom and say, hey, you have to go and see her. She and my father, they're pastors in this new wave thing. You're so open, you should go and experience them. And here we are 15 years later.
Actually, Bulgarians are like you in this church. We are open-minded because our religion never was so big, so
harsh to us.
I call our friendship, and it is deep for me, is a divine appointment. I feel like, and it took you to come to Bulgaria and then to come to Ventura County. You come a long way.
Yeah.
And I am just so grateful for you being in our lives. So in this, I just want to say also.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know I am interrupting everything. But before we came in your place, we were part of Orthodox Church just to have people around, you know. And one time, Ivan was a little 1 year old, and we were staying in the church, and Ivan started walking and go behind in the altar. Altar. And Sevina, young mother, she ran to grab Ivan, and she passed the altar. The women should not be there, and the who just got crazy. Wow! Oh,
they
wow!
Lost.
Woman, what happened?
They lost it.
And
woman
they lost us.
Crossed the altar. That was
my
breaking
gosh.
point for us. It was just no way. We could not.
We can't stay there.
No.
Something just break. Yes.
I'm so grateful all of that happened. You know, briefly, this is one of the funniest stories, if you can do this briefly, is you are one of my favorite things about you is you are never closed. You're always searching for new ways of learning about spirituality, learning about life. And tell us about your visit to the Center for Scientology.
Very, very short, very short. We wanted to know, what is this? So we went there, and there is a gigantic foyer. It's and they have library, and this library had books arranged like dominoes. And
Plamen touched the first one and felt, and everything, dum, the whole library in the front of me. I don't know what to do. I can't stop it.
It was
like
hilarious. They were so stunned what he has done, because this is gigantic lobby with thousands of books, and Plamen ruined everything. So it was perfect. That was our experience with Scientology.
Look, the cross fell over and the books fell down.
I crossed the altar.
Pay attention to these signs in my life.
Yeah.
Well, you are just so precious and so wonderful, and America is so glad you're here. Your spirit, see, your light is so tremendous. And before I go, your careers here have been to create a great life for yourselves. But that truth of who you are, the great writer. And Sevina, I didn't say, you are a great, great healer. And I am so seeing a new way of you being with your clients so that they feel secure in these moments. But I've had miraculous things happen with you in some of your practices. And I just invite anybody to look you up. And how do they reach you? Website?
Stressmanagementresources.com.
Stressmanagementresources.com. And I just thank you so much. Is there anything you'd like to do in closing at all?
I'm thanking America, and we are very grateful. And we want to invite everybody to deeply realize what an incredible place to be. Okay, we have experienced the other world.
And for me, yesterday I listened to Oxford lecture about Eastern philosophy, and they tell us a story how when they Japan opened in the middle of 18th century, and they sent one philosopher to America and to describe why America is so grow so
fast.
And he wrote a big book about it, which is #1 till now. But he described the experience with America, why America is so, with one word. It was doubt.
Ability to doubt.
Doubt. Because when you doubt, you can create something better.
Yeah.
When you step just to
and keep the tradition,
you will not move.
Can never move forward.
You in America over want to do something else. New cars, Tesla, or boom, something else.
New rockets.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. That was a wonderful way to end. Oh my gosh. Well, I'll see you soon, and I would love to social distance with you very, very soon, once again. So what I want to close with is our declaration, and it's we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and that they are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights, that among them is our life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And number one, we are here to give our life a good time, to find our happiness, to find our truth. And my favorite thing about that wonderful statement is creator. It did not close us into a certain deity at all. It is the creator that creates its creation by means of you, by means of me, and by means of all. And I'm so grateful we're in all of this together. Blessings galore. Well, see you soon. Mwah. And now, yes, thank you so much for being, it was, again, being with you is always like a bright light in my life. Thank you so much. So now it is my honor once again to introduce our wonderful Ryan Kimmery, who our Rev Lynn said is starting to now look more like the painter. He is
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
Like Van Gogh. We just need a Starry, Starry Night behind him. Blessing.
Yeah, I'll play that song next next time. All right, guys, I got one more for you here.
All your little girls and boys playing with your little toys. All you really needed was to do was maybe some love. All your little boys and girls living in this crazy world. All you really needed was to do was maybe some love. No need to be alone. No need to be alone. Is this real love? Is this real love? Well, I don't expect you to understand. The kingdom of heaven is in your hands. Well, I don't expect you to wake from your dreams. It's too late for crying. Now it seems that all your little plans and schemes are nothing but a bunch of dreams. All you really needed was to do was maybe some love. Well, I don't expect you to understand. The kingdom of heaven is in your hand. I don't expect you to wake from your dreams. It's too late for crying. Now it seems no need to be alone. No need to be alone. This is real love. This is real love. Thank you, guys.
my, did you write that?
No, that's a John Lennon song.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, beautiful song.
Brilliance. Oh, thank you so much, honey. Have a great rest of your weekend.
You too. Thank you for having me.
See you soon. Thank you so much for being with us. And now it is time to do our offertory. There he is. He looks like Van Gogh. That's great. I love that snap. He does. We need to make the fake background now. That is fabulous. So here we go with our offertory, and you can read it along with me, or you can just listen to my words. And it is: divine love blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is, and that's the way it is. And we now ask for your sacred donations because they're needed more than ever. We will open when it is safe. Right now, I just want to share briefly, at this point, we would have so few people that we could allow into the sanctuary, so we'll keep you in the scoop-a-loop there. And we appreciate all that you have given. And please, if you find it in your heart, you find value in this, please contribute. Please continue to contribute to CSL Pleasant Valley, and you will be able to contribute now with Venmo, and we were very, very excited about that. So it's there, and we're excited, and actually Sevina helped us get that Venmo button up. So thank you. So if, again, any prayers we can answer for you, any questions we can answer for you, we're available. Contact us. And now I am going to close with a wonderful Nemo Patel song, and it's Grateful. And we're grateful for Nemo Patel for allowing all of his music to be royalty free as we enjoy Grateful.
You're my life, you're my breath, you're a smile, you're my guest. You're the earth, you're the sun, you're the grass, you are love. You're my hands, you're a bug, you're my eyes, you're a hug. You're the light in the dark, you're the spark, you are fun. You're my mom, you are water, you're the stars, you're my daughter. You're my friend till the end, you're my dreams, you're my father. You're the ants on the ground, the miracles that surround. I'm feeling it all around, the hemisphere in the clouds. You're my pain, you're my sorrow, you're my hope for tomorrow. You're the strength when I'm hollow, you're the path that I follow. You're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss. The gift to realize that everything
all
is a
that
gift.
I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all. Grateful for it
You're the blessings every time I try to count. You're the lessons that I learn every time I turn around. You're the water when I'm burned every time I think I found everything I'm looking for. You're the sign saying stop to take a bow and keep moving forward and start looking towards your heart. It'll open all the doors and only then you'll start to hear the world singing chorus with your mind and heart. Aligned in purpose, everything
all
will feel
that I
gorgeous.
am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all.
Every day I sit and pray cause what I have is more than I deserve or could ever imagine. How do I give back to all of this magic and spread the love so everybody can have it? Doesn't matter if I'm rich or poor, if I got a family or if I'm all alone. Bad things happen, I can just complain and moan, but there's a million things that I can be grateful for.
So I lift up my hands now, and I open my heart, and my gratitude goes out to everything near and far. All that I am,
And everything I see, everything I hope, and everything I dream, everything I feel, and everything I be. I look deep down and feel everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I'm grateful for it all. It's amazing. Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I look deep down and feel all the blessings. Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I'm grateful for it all. It's amazing. You're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss, the gift to realize that everything is a gift.
Wait, one more. This is for y'all.
All that I am.
All that I see.
All that I've been.
It's a blessing.
It's so amazing.
And I am grateful
Thank you so much for being with us today. Can everybody wave bye and say goodbye?
Bye. Bye.
Thank you so much, Plamen and Sevina. And I love each and every one of you. Dr. Sue is with us next week. And have the wonderful rest of your Freedom Weekend, knowing that freedom comes from within, from the Spirit Divine. God is, I am, and so it is. And that's the way it is. Peace out. Have a great rest of your day. Love you. Mwah.
Bye.